bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the New York Jets and the Chicago Bears. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
Off play action, Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a first down throw, Fields. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Big yardage that time for the Jets. And even 40 yards.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner. Great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
Now Wilson. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Moore, the man in motion. They'll run for the first time with Breece Hall. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football. And the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan. I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling, held it to an okay gain.
Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Six yards left on second down. Now it's Fields. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football.
But they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. After the interception, here's Wilson. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit.
He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Chicago. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, get that water break and get on out there and play.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Play action. Now Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jaquan Brisker getting sent on the safety blitz, and he was able to finish it off.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
A gain there of 21 yards. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Wilson. He finds his man, complete. It's Wilson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 37. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
Handoff, running left. Here's Hall. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Jordan Fuller there to take him down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Throwing is Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive. Stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the 4th down.
And he missed it. It's no good, and this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
They had a chance there to really build a nice early lead, go up a couple of scores, but he doesn't hit that one quite right, and it winds up an empty possession.
Looking deep downfield. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. And this offense hoping to change that right here. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Bryce Hall. There he goes, right side. And the Jets are going to take possession of the football.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
They go play action with Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. Room here to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 16 yards to the 16 and a 1st down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Jets go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point safely through. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8.
The Bears take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And the Jets are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Play action. It's Wilson. He finds his man complete. It's Wilson. He'll get it inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. Well, let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
From the 10. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On first down, Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 37 yards.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. That might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Fields. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On second down, a run with Hall. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Targeting Moore, and he's got him on the crossing pattern. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignments.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Janet Jackson. And the Bears are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's...
And now here is another interception. Picked up by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to...
And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets are able to add on to their first half lead. Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. They're firing a deep ball for Kmet. It's caught inside the 25. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. And this is caught at the 8. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Fields. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. He gets it underneath to Hall. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just toweling it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or Keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
On second and very short, Wilson. The throw right side going to be complete to DeGuara. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. That pass complete to Moore. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. They go play action now. Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long. And this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal. Because just a few plays ago, it looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Wilson smart to take off and run with it as he's able to pick up the 1st.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that 1st down pickup.
Race don't trap. Race don't hustle. Let's go. Hustle, hustle, hustle. And go.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. The 1st half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
In the 1st half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Moore, the man in motion. Ball again on 2nd down. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the 1st half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big 2nd half.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to look deep down the field and unable to connect. Incomplete. Give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
That's complete to Mooney. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A very solid gain of 27. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. But to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And he'll find Hall. Finding room at midfield. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the C's opened up for him. In motion left is Wilson. Running left, it's Hall. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him maybe a yard. Quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To throw is Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Now Fields. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Play action. It's Fields. Looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago. Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Here's Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. Just a gain of a couple there. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by DJ Reed. And the Jets will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. It's Kingsley Enagbari finding a way in to bring him down. Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him. Back now at Soldier Field. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Give to Hall running right. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
They go play action with Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. And the Bears will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That was a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Play action. Now Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And here he'll get it down to the 7. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Play action. It's Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so that you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Finding space at the 40.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
On first down, Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
So in Jet territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 46. And now here is another interception. Picked up by the former Bear, Adrian Amos.
And the Jets will take over possession here up at the 44. Now Hall to start the drive.
And some room to work. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That good for 22 and a first down. Wilson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And not much running room. Down to the 32.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 17-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
So from the 17 now, here's a first and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the Bears are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Rolling to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Okay, ready?
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Hall. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Wilson wants to throw it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Logan Wilson. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
From the 39, Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. And the Jets will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, Bob, because I think this is...
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Kingsley Enagbare. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed, I did, my good man.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number.
There he goes left side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. There may be some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
No problem there on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. He's going to let it fly. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the former Bear, Adrian Amos. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 41. Charles, are you kidding me? 4 interceptions? I mean, that's a good season for a lot of defensive backs.
A lot of reason to get voted into the Pro Bowl when you have 4 in one game. I mean, talk about a campaign slogan, right? I got 4. Send me to the Pro Bowl, guys. What a game we've experienced watching this one.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
At the 41-yard line.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Jets, they